First team is the Celtics, and this is the We Hate Sports hot take of the week. And my hot take is, I don't think Luka will win more than maybe one ring in his career. He might be lucky to win one, but he won't get multiple, especially not in Dallas.
It's really going to depend on. It's really going to depend on what they get around. If they get players around Luka, maybe I do think Luka will at least win one. I agree with him on that part. He'll at least get one. Luka's too special to not get a ring. But yeah, man, it's really going to depend on the organization and if they build around Luka, man. Because honestly, I agree with him. With that roster that they have in there in Dallas right now, there's no chance.
Dirk only won one, so I expect Luka to win at least one. I can understand his reasoning if you think about it that way. So I don't think this hot take is that far-fetched, but yeah, I mean, Luka winning one, he is talented enough to win more than one. But like TK said, yeah, get pieces around him, and right now even now I don't think he has that.
Okay, my hot take is about the AFC East. Now with Josh Allen, kind of basically going to be shelved for a month, basically, because that's a UCL injury that I think technically they usually quarterbacks usually miss a month if it's not torn. So I feel like in the AFC is a close battle. Is just a half game between basically the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills. I think the Jets are going to win the AFC East if Josh Allen is out for a month or more.
I'm going to give credit to Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks. My hot take of the week is the Seattle Seahawks are going to make the NFC Championship. The first few weeks of the Seahawks were a fun team with a great offense with Geno balling out, and they were just fun to root for. It was a decent team that was just a lot of fun to watch. The last 4 or 5 weeks or so, their defense has taken another level. Their defense went from one of the worst in the league. Like we were talking about, it was the Seahawks and the Lions as the bottom two defenses. Seahawks have completely turned it around to being one of the best defenses in the NFL. Legion of Boom might be back, and we already know how dangerous their offense is. Geno Smith, MVP level quarterback. Kenneth Walker, Rookie of the Year. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Everyone knows how good those two are. The Seahawks aren't just fun anymore. They are legitimately a great team. And I think they're going to ride this momentum all the way to the NFC Championship.
All right, so for my hot take this week, it's about Frank Reich. I said earlier, I don't think he's a bad head coach. I think he's going to become the next head coach for the Carolina Panthers. Frank Reich, for all that it's worth, he gave the Eagles Nick Sirianni, and he gave the Bears Matt Eberflus. So in his short tenure as head coach for the Colts, he had a little personal family tree. And it was of, I think pretty good head coaches. So you get Frank Reich in there. He knows how to make guys good. He knows what good head coaches look like. And you give him a good OC, give him a good DC, a complete reset in terms of the coaching in Carolina. Add that to the high draft pick that they'll have that they'll probably spend on Stroud or Bryce. I think the future is bright in Carolina. And it starts with getting a head coach that actually knows what they're doing in there, and Frank Reich. So that's my hot take. Frank Reich, next head coach for the Carolina Panthers.
I'm going to keep it NFL. We're going to talk about them stupid Pittsburgh Steelers. My hot take is going to be the Steelers might be the new Browns of the AFC North. You know how the Browns were, sucked the past couple decades? The Steelers are going to be that. Like, they're going to be that, plus maybe a little better, because they still got Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. But other than that, the Steelers are going to be the Browns of the next decade, because they're drafting, their O-line is terrible. Absolutely terrible. First, they go Najee Harris in the first round. You already know it's already a red flag picking a running back in the first round unless it's a generational talent like Saquon Barkley. But they picked Najee Harris with no O-line. And not only that, Najee Harris had a promising rookie season, but this season, he just looks so bad. He looks trash. And then after you pick a 24-year-old Kenny Pickett with no upside. The only reason I guess they picked Kenny Pickett is because he played in Pitt. And the only reason why Kenny Pickett was even a first-round pick was Jordan Addison, who is absolutely flourishing in UNC, by the way. So you picked Kenny Pickett over Malik Willis, by the way, who was balling last night, balling against the Kansas City Chiefs. Kenny Pickett is not even a top 5 quarterback in the AFC North right now. And that's who they picked in the first round. Unacceptable. But on the other hand, I'm loving it because I love seeing the Steelers suffer. But that's another topic for another day. It's another topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the second half of the NFL season officially. We're officially 8 games out. The week 9 coming up. I'm going to talk about my Broncos. All right. So we're 3-5 right now. All right. And I just want everybody to hear me out. It's called a hot take for a reason. You got to be spicy, caliente. All right. So my hot take is going to be that the Denver Broncos, my Denver Broncos, are going to finish the second half of the season 7-1 to get into the playoffs at 10-6. And we'll lose in the first round. We'll lose in the first round because we're not there yet. But I believe that Hackett has finally figured it out. Hopefully he's figured it out at least. If not, Sean Payton, you're on the way. But if Hackett, I'm hoping Hackett has finally figured it out. We can finally get the ball rolling with Russ. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, Russ is not washed. It's just the scheme is just not working, and I'm glad that Hackett finally figured it out at least for a game. So hopefully he can continue to figure this out. And my hot take is going to be that the second half of the season, the Denver Broncos are going to finish the season 7-1 to go 10-6, get into the first round of the playoffs, and probably absolutely get destroyed. But at least we got to the playoffs.
You're optimistic, man, TK. I'll just leave it at that. I appreciate the optimism.
Thank you, PC. Somebody's got to do it, bro.
Hey guys, this is PC here, the co-host, director, editor, you get the point. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure to like it, of course, and subscribe while you're at it. It would mean a whole lot to me. And make sure to check out the audio EPs that are always going to be in the description below.